going to sort the house out and garden today, which is going quite well. It's not rhubarb!
Wait.
Right, so what are we doing today anyway?
Everything what I know and everything what you know.
How many?
We have still 5 to go because we did 1 6 and now we have 5.
It's Sunday today and we are at my parents' house for
Get a
a
picture to
barbecue.
me.
Get a picture of you?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
Get me a picture of doing in that.
Okay, go. Amazing. Holiday Monday today, but unfortunately Adam's working, so it's just us, isn't it, Finley, because Daddy's at work. So we thought we'd have an indoor day, or at least an in the village day today. We've been to the park, we've been to the shop, and we're going to have some lunch in a minute, aren't we? And you're playing with the toys that we found in the shed at the weekend. Seeing what treasures you've got.
I've got another snake and nanny.
You got a snake?
There. I've got another snake and nanny and granddad.
Ah.
I've got one here too.
Wow, you're lucky, aren't you?
Like that.
Tuesday today. It's already lunchtime. Normally on Tuesday, I don't work on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and Finley goes to preschool in the morning, and I'll do housework or I get blog and writing work done, and then we have the afternoon together. But everything is a bit arse about face this week because it's half term. Hey, half term! And so preschool's shut, and I have a hospital appointment this afternoon. So we've kind of just stayed in this morning because I've had a bit of a headache. I've not been feeling very well. And my dad's going to have him for a few hours this afternoon so that I can go to see, because my pregnancy is consultant led because I had a previous cesarean. So I have to go up to the hospital to see the consultant, or I don't even know if I'm going to see the consultant. To be honest with you, I've got no idea. So I'm just sitting in Sainsbury's car park. I'm going to go and do some food shopping in a minute, but I've just had my first consultant appointment at the hospital because this pregnancy is consultant led as opposed to midwife. It's so hot, and I've got to shut all the windows because obviously I'm sitting in the car videoing myself and talking to myself like a nutter. I don't want people out there to actually be able to hear what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, so I just had my first consultant appointment, which was alright, but you know when you just, like, your first pregnancy, it's like everything's like quite exciting, and like I remember that I always look forward to a midwife appointment. You know, like, I was always excited about it. And like now, because like my second pregnancy, I just kind of feel like, oh, you know, like I wouldn't say I dread it, but I definitely don't look forward to it because you just know stuff, don't you? You just know more and you kind of worry more. And so, oh, hang on, one of the windows is open. Hang on. There we go. So, yeah, so my pregnancy is consultant led because I had an emergency cesarean last time, which is fine. But since then I've now got a whole host of other issues which, like, individually aren't really a big deal really, but collectively I think it just like makes everything a bit more stressful. Like, I've got fibroids, but I had fibroids before. But then he says, well, if you've got fibroids and you want the cesarean, then you have an increased chance of bleeding. And it's like, well, okay, but I had a cesarean last time and that was fine, and nobody ever talked about my fibroids. You know, you just think like, what are you telling me? What are you telling me? And then also I have a low-lying placenta apparently this time, but that could sort itself out. So I'm not really going to worry about that, I don't think, because I'm going to have loads of scans like from July onwards. So I don't think that's a big deal. What else is wrong with me? Oh, last time towards the end of my pregnancy I had high blood pressure, so of course that's like a flag now to keep monitoring my blood pressure. It only started at like 37 weeks with my first pregnancy, and they gave me drugs and it was fine. You know, it's fine in the end. But so obviously he says, oh, from like 32 weeks we need to be like monitoring your blood pressure every week. But now it's like, well, every time I take my blood pressure, like my blood pressure goes up because I'm anxious about it, and I'm like developing like an anxiety disorder about that fucking blood pressure thing strapped around my arm. And then I also tried to talk to him. He was actually a really nice guy, actually. Like, generally I didn't have any like problems, but I tried to talk to him about my SPD, my problems that I just can't like move. I can't get in and out of this car properly. It's just becoming a problem. Like, I'm actually like hurting, and he just said, well, basically there's nothing we can do about it. And I kind of was like, yeah, I kind of already know that, but he suggested that I start Pilates, and I was like, dude, I just told you that my undercarriage clicks when I walk. I'm not going to start doing Pilates at nearly 31 years of age when I've never done it before, when my vagina clicks. What? Are you insane? And he's like, oh, well, you can take painkillers. And I was like, well, okay, I can take painkillers. And he's like, oh, but don't take ibuprofen. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, take a bloody, like, Disprol or something? That's not going to help, is it? So I think I just have to accept that I'm going to be in agony, and that's just what it's going to be for another 20 weeks. But anyway, now I'm going to go and buy myself like a cheesecake. There's loads of people coming out of Sainsbury's now, and they're all looking at me like, because you can't see the camera. I just look like I'm sitting here talking to myself. Maybe I should get my phone and act like I'm on the phone. So yeah, you know, like, I just missed that kind of feeling that I had in my first pregnancy, where everything was like, oh yeah, oh, I've got a midwife appointment, oh, heartbeat, blah blah blah. And even when he listened to the baby's heartbeat, he fucking ruined that by talking about my stretch marks. I was like, all I've got is like 2 stretch marks. First of all, I wouldn't mind if I had like loads of stretch marks and it was like a point of conversation, but it wasn't. I've got like 2 stretch marks, and he was like, oh, is that from this pregnancy or your last pregnancy? And I was like, well, both, but what has that got to do with it? And he was like, oh, you need to moisturise. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. You know, yeah, I'll moisturise. I'm 30 years of age, thanks. That's really helpful. Thank you so much. You know, so that was it, the heartbeat thing. He didn't even, you know, when you're listening to the heartbeat and you're like, is that my heartbeat or is that the baby's heartbeat? He didn't even tell me. But apparently it was all fine. Anyway, I'm going to go and buy myself something. Not think about my fibroids and my stretch marks and my high blood pressure and my white blood cells in my urine, and oh, fucking hell. Today we've come to Whitstable for crab sticks and sweets, and now we're off to Herne Bay to play with some 2P machines and get some fish and chips.